There are some fathers out there who don't even know the birthdays of their children. There are some fathers out there who don't even know significant dates. The date your child graduated, the day she got admission, the day, some significant dates about your children. You don't know these things because you feel that these things are not necessary. So for some time now, a certain girl called Mmesoma has been trending online because of her outrageous JAMB score. Of course, recently JAMB came out to say that the JAMB score was forged. We don't know which is true, but what we know is that there was a score. And I am trying as much as possible not to go into that issue, because I've seen that a lot of persons have they've all given in their own inputs, but I choose not to delve into that issue. I want to talk about a different thing, but it has to do with that same issue. But I want to come from a different point of view. You see, I think in my last video, I was addressing the ladies. Let me come to the men this time around. Now, I was going through the internet. I saw a particular striking thing that caught my attention. So I was reading things about this Mmesoma. I saw where the father says that he was not aware, or he doesn't know where the daughter registered for her JAMB. Now, when I saw this particular issue, or when I saw this particular write-up, I had to confirm. I had to go back to the internet and confirm if this was actually true, if this particular issue that I'm seeing here is actually true. And then when I went back to YouTube, I saw a lot of videos confirming that particular thing I saw on the internet, that the father doesn't actually know where the daughter actually registered for JAMB. He said it, not that people quoted him wrong. He said it actually, that he doesn't know where the daughter registered for JAMB. Now, that brings me to the issue I want to address through this video. You see, not all men are fathers. For the fact that you are capable of taking a woman into the room and then getting her pregnant, and then she gives birth to a child, doesn't actually make you a father. Father means responsibility. I want us to begin to understand that the role of a father is not just about providing money for those that have. It is not just about providing money. Okay, I have paid for their school fees, so therefore any other thing that borders on taking care of these children should go to their mother. As a father, are you giving your child the emotional support they need? Are you giving them the mental support they need? What kind of father are you? Are you the father that pays the school fees, and then after you are done paying the school fees, every other thing that borders on your children, every other thing that concerns your children doesn't bother you because you have paid the school fees? How many times have they returned back home and then you ask them, okay, what did they teach you today? Are your teachers doing very well? Are they justifying the money you're paying for your children? Are they teaching you people well? Show me your results. Show me the classwork you did today. Let me know how well you're doing. Were you given any assignment today? Let me know how well you are doing in school. These are the roles of a father. These are some of the reasons why in our society today you find the children more attached to the mothers, because mothers are actually the ones who pay close attention to their children. They take these children to school, they go back to school to get them after school. They pay close attention to the emotional development, they pay close attention to the mental development and every other thing. These are some of the things that when you look at our fathers today, they lack this character, they lack this attribute towards their children. That is the reason why most times, even when you are having a conversation with some of the persons who may have lost maybe their mothers, they might not be direct with you. They might not be open about it, but some of them actually wish that their mother is still around and their father is not. Many of them might not openly tell you that, hey, I want my father dead and all that, but because of how the society is, because of the situation around, they might not be open with all these things, but deep down you know that they actually prefer their mother around, because their mother shows a lot of concern about their growth, not just about the normal growth that we see, but their mental, emotional, psychological growth and all around. These are some of the things that our men lack today. So it's very, very overwhelming that you are in a house, you are a father, you are at home, You are in the house with your children. You don't know where your child registered for her JAMB. If then you don't know that if you don't know, let's say that you lack the knowledge of where your daughter registered for her JAMB. Therefore, how then do you now claim that your child is intelligent? How intelligent do you know your child as? How well do you think you know your child's intelligence, since you cannot give a simple detail of your children or your child? You then see that the name father, is synonymous to responsibility. And when you don't live up to this responsibility, you are not a father. You are not just a father. You are just another man who can just impregnate any woman. But for the fact that you are not able to live up to the responsibilities of a father, you are not capable of calling yourself a father. So we should understand that father comes with a lot of responsibility. If you're a father out there, sometimes when you return back from home, call your children, ask them some certain emotional questions. Ask them some certain questions that will help them understand that you are not just a father, you are also their friend. I've seen a lot of families where the father is like a lion. Nobody talks to the father. Nobody approaches the father. In fact, before you approach your father, you have to go through your mom. Before you can get something from your father, you have to go through your mom, which is not so. We need to understand that the role of a father, the role of a father cannot be overemphasized. Now, you can then agree with me that so many men are in the category of this issue that I'm discussing today. So many of them have a lot of justification to defend themselves that these are not my responsibility. For the fact that you are a father means that automatically these things that we talk about are your responsibility. Because as a head of the family, you are the one in charge of all these things that we are mentioning. You are the one responsible for all these things. The wife is just a helper. She helps. She assists. So pushing these responsibilities to your wife, you are only helping her develop more emotional and psychological acquaintance with the children. And at the end of the day, the children will end up preferring their mother to you, the father. So let us stop encouraging men into thinking that there are some responsibilities at home that shouldn't concern them. That for so long as you have provided for the family, you have brought the money for the food, and you've given them money for everything that they need and all that, then some certain attention should not be given to your child. If you place yourself in this kind of situation, at the end of the day, when you grow old, you become lonely because you have not developed any kind of emotional attachment with your children. You've not had any psychological attachment with your children. You are just there as a father. You're just answering the name father, but there is no sign, there's nothing to show that actually you're the father of the children, because they don't even regard you as one. Even if they do, they might not show it as much as they do for their mother. There are some fathers out there who don't even know the birthdays of their children. There are some fathers out there who don't even know significant dates. The date your child graduated, the day she got admission, the day, some significant dates about your children. You don't know these things because you feel that these things are not necessary. You feel that these things are just extra, irrelevant things that society is expecting you to keep. But you don't know that it goes a long way to creating a huge bond between you and your children. So I want you to have this as your take home. Being a man doesn't make you a father. And for the fact that you have the ability to get a woman pregnant doesn't make you a father. It is until you live up to the responsibility of a father, that is when you can comfortably and openly call yourself a father. But if you have failed in these responsibilities, you are not meant to be called a father. If you're a father and you don't have details of your children, if you regard yourself as a father and when you are questioned about your key and you have to get this information from your wife before you can be able to answer, then there's a problem. You should not regard yourself as a father. Let this go to all the men, both fathers and intended fathers. Please live up to your responsibility as a father. I am no longer talking to you as a man. I'm talking to you as a father. Live up to your responsibility as a father so that tomorrow your children can have this bond with you. This is a message to all fathers, and I hope that it teaches you one or two things. I hope you learn one or two things from it. And I hope that children out there can also learn that as you are growing as a child, as a male child, as you are growing, there's a lot of responsibilities on your shoulder. And as a father, you must live up to this responsibility.